everybody, this is Danny from T&D Productions. Now, I'm not going to be going on a big edit fest of this video, but I do believe this needs to be done. You're probably surprised because I don't usually put out videos like twice a week, but this is something I really want to get out there. Something happened a couple days ago here in Philippines besides the earthquake that just happened. But it seems that two American foreigners got into a little scuffle, and one of them unfortunately got shot by the other. Now that's weird because foreigners aren't really supposed to have guns. That's a big crime committed right there. Just carrying a gun is pretty bad. Kind of reinforces my opinion that expats should avoid other expats when they go to other countries because of the difference of opinions people have. So it just reminds me of a story I have that takes place back in 2019, about 6 or 7 months before the pandemic and everything shut down. I was just finishing a very hard, very difficult, very stressful contract at Hagwon, a Korean academy there. And I wanted a little time just to escape for a bit, do some stress release, so I decided to book a vacation. And where I go to Cebu City, Philippines. And when I'm there, I meet up with this guy, and we hit it off. He happened to be from the same state in America I'm from, and not only was he from the same state, he also was at university in the same area. I was in university, not the same university, but pretty close by to each other. So we hit it off. We talked about things in that area and things of that nature and stuff. So everything was cool. So he invited me out Wednesday wing night at an expat bar that was close by. He invited me out there to meet me and some other people from our state. So I decided, hey, that sounds like fun. Meet some people, have some good wings, and maybe a couple beers. Everything will be cool. So I went there. I went upstairs, and I met these guys. These guys were a little bit older, like around 60, 70 years old, and they were expat retirees there. They were from my state. In fact, one of them went to my university, but 10 years before I did. And everything seemed pretty cool and everything, so I started talking to them, and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden we started talking about one thing you weren't supposed to talk about. We talked about politics. Now we didn't really get really deep into it. He asked me how I feel about a certain person or a certain, I'm not gonna say who it was, and I told him my view, and that I never really liked this person without any kind of continuation, without me saying but or however or anything like that. He interrupted me and said, "What'd you say?" I heard about all this stuff. I've been outside of America for so long this time. At this time, I thought all the political drama was exaggerated a bit, run out of context, a little satire, Saturday Night Live and everything. So I thought he was kidding in the entire thing. So I look at him, I start laughing at him. And he looks at me and says, "What the hell are you laughing for? I ought to kick your ass," and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, the hell, dude? He says, if you don't like it, you should leave the country. Well, I think I told him like about 4 to 5 times I was an expat and I lived in South Korea and I left the country a long time ago. I think he forgot about all that because, he was drinking. And it started getting kind of, puffy and a little bit stand up and show his chest and stuff. And he says, you get the hell out of here or I'm going to kick your ass. So I'm thinking, this guy is serious. This guy really wants to kick my ass. Luckily, he didn't have a gun. We got out of that situation pretty quickly. We didn't want to start any drama or anything with this guy, and we were having a good night. We didn't want this guy to to be a buzzkill. So we scooted off to another place and just hung out the rest of the night there. Anyhow, that tells me that every expat has a different opinion, and there's some things when you go to other places, Thailand, it can be anywhere, just remember to always keep politics or religion out of your discussions when you talk to new people. I'm not talking about all expats being bad people. I mean, some of them are good, but there's a handful that are just toxic bad people. So that's why I say it's best to avoid the expat situation. Just hang out with the local people and learn local customs and stuff. That's really cool. But for me, when I go to the expat bars and I sit and talk to people from around the world, which I do, they tend to show their true colors pretty quickly, and it's a big turn off, and I just want to get out of that situation. But that's just my opinion. So tell me, what do you think? When you're an expat, do you avoid other expats and go for the local people wherever they are? Just tell me in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you like this little raw rant, please hit the like button. So until my next scheduled video, this is Danny from Teeny Productions, the YouTube channel made for expats, by expats, about expats. See you next time.